Jason Carter had learned how to disappear in plain sight. In the mirrored corridors of Carter & Co. Enterprises, he was a ghost wearing a nameplate, Jason Carter, project coordinator. The irony wasn't lost on him. His last name hung over every office door, etched on every paycheck, whispered with respect, and yet, no one saw him. His father, Richard Carter, had built the company from the ground up, one of Manhattan's most powerful corporate empires. But Richard believed in merit, not bloodlines. "If you want to lead this company," he'd once told Jason, "earn it. Don't expect me to hand you the crown." So Jason started at the bottom. No one knew he was the boss's son except HR and a few executives sworn to secrecy. He wanted to prove himself, and his father was all too happy to let him struggle for it. Jason didn't mind. Not at first. The anonymity was liberating until she arrived. Emma Reed. She was the kind of woman whose presence rewired a room without needing to speak. Smart. Focused. A quiet storm in a tailored gray blazer. Her dark brown hair framed a face that was all calm intellect, her voice low but confident. She had been hired as a senior analyst, a woman with credentials and grace that demanded respect. Jason noticed her on her first day, not because she was beautiful, but because she didn't notice him. She treated him exactly how she treated everyone else, with fairness, professionalism, and absolutely no interest. That, in a world built on flattery and pretense, made her magnetic. He started small, helping her gather reports, bringing her coffee once when she was too busy to leave her desk. She thanked him politely but never lingered. There was no flirtation, no pretense. Just genuine respect. And for Jason, who had lived under the weight of his last name, that was more intoxicating than anything. But where admiration grew, jealousy soon followed. Two women in particular took notice of Emma's rising influence of Vanessa Cole, the office's self-proclaimed Queen Bee, and Lauren Smith, the HR manager whose power thrived on manipulation. Vanessa was sharp, ambitious, and hungry for attention. She thrived on gossip and office politics, constantly trying to get closer to senior executives. When Emma arrived competent, composed, and unbothered, it unsettled her. Emma didn't compete, she simply was. Lauren, on the other hand, hid her venom behind polite smiles. She saw Emma's independence as a threat to the control she had over staff dynamics. Together, Vanessa and Lauren became a quiet storm of envy. Still, Jason found himself drawn deeper into Emma's orbit. One late evening, the office mostly dark except for the hum of monitors and the distant skyline beyond the glass walls, he found Emma still working. "You should head home," he said gently, leaning on the doorframe. She looked up, smiled faintly. "Deadlines don't care about sleep," Jason chuckled. "Neither does New York." Her smile lingered for a second longer than usual. "You're different, Jason. Most people here want something." He hesitated. "And you think I don't?" "I think you don't know what you want yet," she said. Returning her eyes to the screen, something in that moment shifted. For the first time, Jason felt seen. Not as a name, not as a title, but as a person. Days turned into weeks, and their conversations deepened. They started having lunch together, talking about books, ambitions, small fears. Emma had dreams of starting her own consultancy someday. Jason, careful not to reveal his lineage, spoke vaguely about wanting to make a difference. But word travels fast in corporate halls. Vanessa saw the change. Jason's subtle admiration, Emma's growing confidence, the way people began listening to her. She started planting seeds, whispering things in the break room. Emma's cozying up to Jason, probably trying to climb. Lauren joined in, bending HR rules to her will. She accidentally reassigned some of Emma's work, delayed her reimbursements, and quietly spread the rumor that Emma had falsified data to impress upper management. The real blow came during the Carter & Co. annual client summit, a presentation Emma had spent weeks perfecting. The boardroom was filled with executives, investors, and Jason's father himself. It was Emma's moment, until the slides loaded, and the charts on screen were wrong, completely wrong. Numbers didn't match, key figures were missing. Gasps filled the room. Emma froze, her heart racing. "Is this some kind of joke?" one investor hissed. Jason's stomach dropped. He had seen those files earlier that day. They were correct. Someone had tampered with them. Emma tried to recover, explaining the data verbally, but the damage was done. The room was already lost. Richard Carter called for a recess, his face a thundercloud. The next morning, HR announced an internal audit. Guess who led it? Lauren Smith. And within days, a confidential email was leaked to the board, evidence suggesting that Emma had diverted company funds to a fake vendor account. It was a lie. A beautifully constructed, deliberate lie. Jason knew it, but proving it meant revealing who he really was. He met Emma outside the building that evening. She looked pale, defeated. "I didn't do it, Jason," she said, her voice cracking. "I know you didn't," he said, his chest tight. "Someone's framing you? Who would do that?" He hesitated. "Someone jealous. Someone threatened by you," she sighed, looking away. You don't understand how this place works. They'll destroy me to protect their image. I'll fix this, Jason said. How? She asked, eyes searching his. You're just another employee here. For a moment he wanted to tell her the truth. That he was Richard Carter's son. That he could end this in one meeting if he wanted. But something stopped him. Pride maybe, or fear that she would see him differently. So he said nothing. 2 days later, Emma Reed was terminated for financial misconduct. Her career gone, her name tarnished, her faith in people broken. Jason watched her leave the building with a single box of belongings. Their eyes met in the lobby. No words, just pain. That night Jason didn't sleep. The anger that had simmered beneath his calm exterior finally erupted. He wasn't just going to clear Emma's name. He was going to destroy the people who had destroyed her. He started quietly. Jason had access to every system. He'd earned trust over the years. He dug into server logs, file timestamps, backup drives. He found what he was looking for. The altered presentation file came from Vanessa Cole's login hours before the summit. The fake vendor account, created through HR's access credentials, Lauren's department. It was them. They had framed Emma to eliminate competition. Jason could have gone to his father immediately, but he wanted them to feel it. So he began his revenge. He leaked anonymous tips to the internal audit team, planted data trails leading to Vanessa's personal email. He sent a mistaken message to the CFO suggesting Vanessa had been meeting with rival companies. Within days, whispers started circulating about her loyalty. Then, he forwarded evidence of Lauren's fake invoices to an external investigator, using an anonymous account traced to an untraceable VPN. The dominoes began to fall. Vanessa was questioned. Her confidence cracked under pressure. Lauren tried to protect herself but slipped, contradicting her statements. Within a month, both were fired under ethics violations. The justice should have felt sweet, but it didn't. Because Emma was gone. Jason met with his father one evening, unable to carry the weight anymore. He confessed everything, from Emma's firing to the sabotage to his own revenge. Richard listened silently, then leaned back in his chair. You did what I would have done, he said finally. But at what cost, Jason? Jason's throat tightened. I lost her. Richard nodded slowly. Then maybe you understand what leadership really means. That night, Jason wrote to Emma, an email he rewrote 10 times before sending. I know the truth now. I fixed it, but I should have protected you sooner. You didn't deserve what they did to you, I'm sorry. He waited. No reply came. Weeks passed, then months. Until one day a letter arrived at his desk. No return address, just a clean envelope. Inside was a short note: you can't undo pain by spreading it. You can't call revenge justice just because you were right. I don't hate you, Jason. I just hope you learn to live better than this. Emma. Jason kept that letter in his wallet for years. Carter & Co. survived the scandal, but the cost was visible in every empty cubicle, every cautious glance. The company was rebuilt but colder, quieter. Vanessa disappeared from the industry entirely. Lauren tried to sue but lost everything. Jason never told anyone that he was the one who set their downfall in motion. He carried it like a secret bruise. A reminder of how vengeance doesn't heal, it consumes. And yet, sometimes, late at night in his corner office overlooking the city, he'd look at Emma's old desk, now empty, and whisper, I'm sorry. Because in the end, she had treated him like a nobody. And maybe that was exactly what he had been. A man who had everything, but couldn't save the only person who saw him for who he really was.